What's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Ballbusters podcast. Sorry, we've been delayed for a while. There's a lot of crazy shit that's been going on. As always, I'm Foster, and then right next to me.
Hello, it's me, Caleb. I thought you were gonna say my name or something.
No, I'm not. I'm not that cordial.
No.
And then
Rude.
Dan's not with us this recording.
Yeah, but he'll be back. Probably next episode. This is gonna be a two-parter, so it will be probably the one after, because we're gonna more than likely record these back to back, and then just edit them down.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I'm editing that part out.
Yeah, I figured. It's fine. We're just high as shit right now. It's fine.
Just so, anyways. Alright. So, have you played anything fun recently, Foster?
I mean, if you want to consider it fun, we've been doing Fallout 76 because it's on Game Pass. I honestly can't bring myself to fucking like it. I kind of hate it.
That game's a fucking nightmare. And we played for like 10 minutes last night, and that game just like pissed me the fuck off within 10 minutes.
So we just hopped on Red Dead.
And literally 8 of those minutes was walking. 2 of them was just what pissed me off. I we get into this town, it's running completely fine until we enter the town and all the NPCs realize we're there, and then it just completely shits the fucking bed and I can't even fucking move.
Yeah, I knew I probably wasn't gonna love the fuck out of it, but I didn't know I was gonna hate it as much as I did.
I was hoping to like it at least a little bit.
I don't know. I'm glad I didn't have to spend money on it, because I still wasn't gonna spend money on 76 regardless. We've been waiting on Game Pass essentially for 2 years, pretty much since the game had come out, because we were all right.
Yeah, I watched one of our friends play it, and I'm like, wow, that does not look like it's worth my money literally at all.
Oh yeah, I remember Jarek was playing it, and he was trying to convince himself it was really good, No Man's Sky, and it wasn't.
No Man's Sky is apparently pretty good now, though.
Oh yeah, they updated a lot, but
hey, that's
still,
also on Game Pass.
I know it is, but still, a lot of people's complaints with that though is that that's what the game should have been from the beginning. Because that's everything that was promised from launch. We're getting everything that was promised from launch. And No Man's Sky came out in 2016?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it took 4 years to get to that point. I think I'm not necessarily blaming the developers for, underselling their promise. I just guarantee you they probably, they just fucking overestimated. They just, we're on a high horse for a second, because everyone was liking the early gameplay of No Man's Sky and shit, and it was looking promising, but they did not implement anything until recently. I think it's been within the last years, when they've been doing these updates.
One of the big things was multiplayer, and that didn't get introduced until I think it was 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I mean, even then, when it first came out, it was fucking dog shit. And you could, people were just, glowing spheres. It's wow, that's cool.
Yeah, the people that you would run into, and it was, a super low chance that you did.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, then the planets you would go on, didn't even have, NPC, alien life forms or shit. Anything, really. It was just, plant life.
Or if it did, it was all pretty much just different versions of the exact
same thing, yeah. And it was oh, that's really nifty. It's something.
It's fucking stupid as shit. I hate it. Anyways.
So anyway, yeah, 76. Fallout 76 still sucks. If anyone was wondering.
Gargle on my nuts. Literally, I just want it to not be garbage, but the only way it can't be garbage is if Bethesda made private server is a thing that you didn't have to pay for, but we all know Bethesda's not gonna fucking do that because they like money more than like pleasing their customers.
I was hanging out with my girlfriend earlier, and I was going. Excuse me. I told her because I had my cursor over Fallout 76. I'm like, I'm so tempted to just uninstall this right now, and I was like, Caleb wanted me to play it later for like the later stages, but I'm like, fuck, dude, I cannot bring myself to like even to like fucking go like anymore. Like this game is dog shit, still is. Bethesda fucking sucks. If you fuck with Elder Scrolls 6, I won't do anything to you personally, but I just won't buy anything from you as a company, because like that is like my ultimate fucking series. That and Zelda. So like if you fuck with like either of those two majorly, like you lost my business. Which like doesn't mean much in the grand scheme of things to them, but like God, holy shit, I hope they don't rape Elder Scrolls 6 with microtransactions, because I bet they will. How do you do that with a fantasy RPG that's single player? Who the fuck knows? Because they did that with fucking Fallout 4.
Horse armor.
Oh yeah, that's right, Oblivion.
There's a shitload of horse armor. I hope that's, if they have transactions, I just want them to be nothing but horse armor. That way I can be like completely just pissed off, but be like, is this like a reference? Like, did you guys do this on purpose, or are you just being cunts?
Honestly, probably both.
Foster, what's today's film?
Today's films is one of my favorite films of all time. It's a little something called Lord of the Rings. Fellowship of the Ring, to be specific.
Ah! I know. Crazy. What did you do, poop?
Maybe a little bit.
That's kind of...
Poopy scoop, poopity scoopity whoop whoop whoop.
Alright, Kanye.
God, I don't want to talk about that.
But let's reintroduce the film, because that was just straight up trash.
Yeah.
Anyways, Foster, what's today's film?
Today's film is it's one of my favorite films. Something I hold near and dear to my heart, Caleb. Something very special to me. It's my life and soul. People fuck with this thing, I get really fucking pissed.
Yeah?
Yeah, this thing I have tattooed on my left arm.
No, bro, this is kind of cringy.
Yeah, I know. It's a little something called Lord of the Rings.
Never heard of it.
Fellowship of the Ring.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. So, Fellowship of the Ring was released December 12th, 2001, I think. I know it was early December. Hold on. I'm gonna fact check. Because fact checking's our best friend.
How responsible of you.
Yeah, I know, right? So, Lord of the Rings came out December 19th, 2001. I'm really disappointed that I didn't know the exact date. Actually, I just knew it was in December in 2001. But granted, movies around that time always come out, like, right before Christmas, so should have figured. But the trilogy itself, in terms of like film production, not post-production, when they did a bunch of stuff after, they were in New Zealand for like a year and a half, 2 years, filming all three of the Lord of the Rings, and they were doing like different movies like each day. So like some days, like some of the actors would be doing shit from like the Two Towers. Other days they'd be doing shit on like Return of the King. Like you kind of like learn that shit when you listen to the commentary and stuff, and you kind of like realize how much time actually went into these fucking movies. Like, there was a lot of fucking work done.
Oh yeah, for sure.
At a really fucking low price.
You can really tell with like the quality of the movie too. There's like a lot of like really good like effects and shit in it, while keeping like as true to the books as you can probably make a movie based upon something that, you know, is as complex as Tolkien's books.
Peter Jackson, like, pretty much did, like, the best job, like, a person could. Like, fucking interpreting Tolkien's works, because, like, holy shit, they're not easy, and they're very wordy. And by wordy, I just mean they're filled with a shit ton of dialogue and a bunch of names you gotta memorize. Names, mind you, that, like, are important, but you will never, ever see, like, half of these characters. So there's, like, no physical representation of Sauron, like, at this point, like, in, like, Middle-earth's history anyway, like, in the books for Lord of the Rings, there's no physical representation of Sauron. His essence is just kind of there, and he's manipulating, like, his forces just through, like, his dark power, because, I mean, he kind of is a god, so, you know.
He not only made, like, a good movie, but, like, he was able to make it out of something, like, people who read the books could enjoy, while also making it to where it can appeal to, like, a broad audience. You know, people who are just getting into it and never heard of the books and still want to see these movies. And, like, honestly, I think that deserves props. A lot of people are mad that it wasn't as close to the books as it, like, they think it should have been, but I think they did great with what they could do. There's too much shit happening in the books to keep up with that would make sense in a movie.
Excuse me. A lot of people, like, bitch about Tom Bombadil not being in there. And I'm like, yeah, he was, like, a really cool character in Fellowship, but, like, he's in there for, like a scene. He helps, like, the fucking hobbits, like, basically make Old Man Willow fuck off, like, the tree that was trying to kill them. And, like, talks to them for a little bit and then sends them off. Like, the scene with Tom Bombadil doesn't last that long, and that's why I think it's retarded that, like, people get kind of mad about it. And then also on top of that, like, if you want to be that nitpicky about it, why don't people get pissed about the fact that you do see Radagast in Fellowship, and a lot of people just don't mention the fact that he's in there. Not very long. He's literally just talking to Gandalf for a second. He literally fucking forgot who Gandalf looked like, because that's how much time he's been, like, fucked off in the woods. And he goes like, oh yeah, I've been looking for you. Saruman wants to talk to you. And, like, that's pretty much the extent of it. And then they, like, smoke, like, a little bit out of their pipes for, like, a second, and then they leave.
Hell yeah, dude. 420 blaze it, wizard style.
Pretty much.
God, that was kind of cringy.
So, like, yeah, so I'm like, if people want to be nitpicky about Tom Bombadil, don't fucking cherry pick. Like, also get mad about the fact that Radagast isn't in there, because Radagast is just as cool. Other than the fact that he didn't stay true to the mission of, like, staying, like, protecting Middle-earth, at least in its entirety. But, like, that's a different story for a different time.
Oh yeah, that'd be for, like, if we were talking about the books and shit.
Yeah, that'd be for if we were talking about the war. That's not even in the, like, trilogy. Sorry, I'm popping my back. I mean, what a lot of people also don't realize too. I mean, this has probably been touched on, like, so many goddamn times, but I'm gonna say it again because people still don't fucking listen. The reason why they don't use the Eagles to go to Mordor is because the Eagles have a fucking kingdom of their own to protect. Like, even if they do, like, even though, like, yeah, it might only take, like, a couple weeks, that's still time where, like, they're not there, and their whole kingdom can get like sieged by orcs up in the north and shit.
And not only that, a bunch of big ass eagles are pretty obvious on a stealth mission.
Yeah, and like you can't get past that.
They can still be killed by fucking arrows and shit like that. And there's also like fell beasts, like all over Mordor.
And also on top of that too, quote from Glomir himself, the leader of the Eagles, they're their own people, they're not a fucking taxi service. And that's basically his quote to Gandalf. It was just like, for you, Gandalf, for you personally, like, I get you out of a situation, but he's like, well, I'm not a taxi service. I'm not fucking taking you guys there. I'm actually, like, a fucking being with thoughts, too, because, it's a fucking eagle that has sentience.
Yeah.
Or, well, I guess, like, eagles already have sentience, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but they're not giant fucking talking eagles.
Yeah, they're self-aware. They're not gods, essentially.
That's fucking big-ass pissed-off birds floating around.
Yeah. What a lot of people don't realize, too, is that, again, because this would, like, if you were to do the books, like, try to do it, like, page for page, like Tolkien, like, if you were gonna do it in movie stance, you would probably have to make 3 parts for each movie. Realistically, so you'd have, like, 9 fucking movies.
Yeah, and, like, at that point, it would just feel drawn out for people who didn't know about the books. They would go in, watch the movie and shit like that, be like, oh, wow.
This shit sucks.
And then, fucking 9 movies later.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, fucking Lord of the Rings, for the most part, is a boring fucking read. It's like, at least Fellowship, anyway, is really fucking just fucking dialogue filled.
Yeah.
It's not that fun of a read. Like, it has good dialogue, don't get me wrong, but it's not by any means, like, what I mean by it's not fun is it's not a fucking easy read. Especially when you get to the Council of Elrond. Because you get introduced to, like, not only everyone's factions, but everyone in that faction. So in the movie, yeah, you only see the fucking, like, the Fellowship characters of that faction, like, talk. And in the book, Tolkien, like, fucking made everyone talk in there. So you get introduced to everyone who Gimli brought. You get introduced to everyone Legolas brought. You get introduced to everyone Boromir brought. You legit have to keep track of, like, I think it's like 30 something names. 30 to 50 something names.
That's beautiful.
And it's literally just for, like, a scene where people are bickering about, like, what the fuck to do. Which just ends up getting solved by a fucking midget going, like, yeah, I'll go. Which is, gang? Like...
I'll go.
Yeah, which isn't that fucking sad?
I mean, think about it, though. Perfect character for it. A hobbit. They're so sneaky.
No, yeah, like, no, for sure. I'm not saying in that aspect. I'm just saying amongst those, like, all those fucking guys bickering. And it took a fucking halfling to, like, kind of make them fucking go, like, oh, shit. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't, like, fucking... Because this does affect the whole fucking world, doesn't it? Huh, wow, that's something. Kind of like you relate it to now. Weird. Anyways.
So what you're saying is we need a midget to come out and settle all the political bickering?
Yeah, but there needs to be, like, some
tensions.
Like, symbol that he's destroying, though, and I don't know what that is. It'd probably be the American government. I would feel like that like, that's what that would be. But anyway.
Just most governments. 90% of 99% of governments, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Oh, you also see Theoden in Fellowship, too. Like, you actually see him, like, right when he's, like, first getting corrupted. It's kind of fucking sad. But, like, Gandalf didn't really know, and he didn't have the fucking time to, like, really do anything about it. He's just like, let me use Shadowfax. Because, like, he's a really fast horse, and, like, he's the only horse that, like... and he's like, and I'm the only rider that can like cooperate with him. He like fucking bucks everyone else off, and they're like, all right, fine. Because you also see Wormtongue in there too, you know, doing his worm shit, poisoning the king,
putting his tongue in people's ear.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
And then Gandalf rode back to Rivendell. And then, aside from that, there's not too much of a difference. It wasn't Gandalf who solved the riddle of opening the door to the Mines of Moria. It was Merry. Actually, that was just like more of a side note. But like, Gandalf's cool and all, but Merry's a little more clever. Just saying, took a fucking halfling who's like not even lived a quarter of like what Gandalf's life has been, and he solved a riddle in a fucking language he couldn't even read.
Now that is what I call pod racing.
That's what I call.
We gotta talk about Phantom Menace after we're done with Lord of the Rings.
I don't want to talk about that fucking god awful movie.
But what? You don't like Kid Anakin? What are you, racist?
No, but I don't shit on the kid like everyone else did. Though.
No, right?
I feel bad for him.
I feel bad for the kid actor, but like legit, like that's fucked up. Honestly, it's brutal as fuck. The internet's a wild place. It's crazy how fucking people just like track people down because they were, you know, in a form of media that they didn't like them in. They're like, oh, you were in that movie and you were a bad actor even though you were like 4.
You fucking suck all the dicks.
But like also, I fucking hate that movie, and I'm pretty sure the main reason I do is because of Kid Anakin.
Oh, it's because Burleigh's there.
But off topic, little rant there, but like, Jesus Christ, that movie's a train wreck. Let's get back to a good one.
There's more comparisons too. Glorfindel. He's not in the movie. He's not in the movies at all, but he was a pretty cool elf guy who died already, and then like the god of that universe like pretty much just like gave him like a 1-up. And he was just like
redo.
He was just like you went out protecting like a huge like piece of Middle Earth, you get a second chance.
Like, damn, bro, you killed a Balrog.
And Glorfindel is just a really powerful elf. He's basically godlike. And yeah, so in the movie it's Arwen like helping Frodo get to Rivendell like after he gets stabbed by the Morgul blade, but it was actually Glorfindel because Glorfindel rides fast as fuck. Like I'm pretty sure the like fastest rider in Middle Earth at the time. Like literally faster than Aragorn or anyone.
And probably just because the whole reincarnated fact kind of got a little OP by getting reincarnated.
He's also like got a OP horse.
Dude, that's his reincarnation horse, I swear.
No,
like
he just
on top.
No, dude, his horse just leveled up a lot while he was gone, and he just like didn't have time to do stats before he died. So when he came back, his horse was like even more leveled up. He just had like thousands of stat points.
He just
has
like max horse bonding. Is that what you're saying? My favorite scene in the movies, I think, might be in Fellowship of the Ring, though. Like, it's just kind of, like, iconic to me, and I feel like it doesn't get enough attention sometimes. It's when they're underneath the log and the fucking ring wraith, like, leaning in, looking around for him. You can just see, like, it corrupting the log and all the bugs and shit coming off of him. Everything scurrying away from where he was. Like, when he's approaching, how it just gets completely quiet because all the birds and shit left. Because, kind of have literally just this absolutely terrifying thing riding down this fucking path that's infused with just like a lot of fucking power.
No, my favorites probably come from Return of the King, because like that has like some of the most fucking gruesome ones.
The battles in that movie.
I mean, you got the transformation of Smeagol in that one, from when he was a hobbit into like the fucking like warped wraith that he's like pretty much getting turned into.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's kind of fucked up. Not only that, you have what's his fuck? Guy with no hands, like missing eye. I forgot what his name is.
Gothmog, I'm pretty sure, which is weird because there's also a
Yeah, he's not he is in the books. He's not a super big character. Like, he's labeled as a orc lieutenant, and then he like died like pretty quick.
They're like, all right, let's kill this little inbred fucker.
It's not really even described how he looked in the book. Peter Jackson just like gave him more of a fucking character, so they were like,
God, he's so fucking gross looking, dude. Like that's what I imagine fucking what happens if you get like
not only that, you got the visual
You got the visual dude, I agree. That's my favorite part.
I got an eyelash stuck in my eye.
Sometimes my eyelashes stick together.
You also had the scene where fucking Frodo gets his finger bitten off too.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of fucking. I'm going like too far ahead though. My favorite scenes from Fellowship though are probably like when Frodo puts on the ring, not for the first time when he sees the Great Eye, but when he puts it on to try to get away from the ring race because he thinks that's gonna fucking help him, even though Aragorn said to the prancing pony that they were literally drawn to the call of the ring, so you would think putting it on like wouldn't be like a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
But he's they're halflings. They're kind of fucking stupid because they don't really know how the outside world works. So he put it on anyway. And when you put on like the ring of power, and you're like a normal person, you shine like a beacon in like that nether world that they're in, which is just like a mirrored world. It's just Twilight is all it is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you shine like a beacon like in that dimension though, and like they can literally see you from anywhere, even if you try to hide behind something. It's kind of like having wall hacks in COD, where you can always see like the outline of someone. It's pretty much like what they got.
Dude,
they got
like
wall
CSGO.
hacks. Yeah, they got wall hacks.
God damn, dude. We're gonna have to report him to the admin.
Yeah, mine's probably that, and then like when he's like getting poisoned and shit, because it's just a really tense scene. Because his eyes get like super blue. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I have him on my arm. Well, his fucking head anyway. Fellowship probably had one of the saddest scenes for me though.
Yeah.
Boromir dying.
Honestly.
On a side note, holy shit, people are really vicious about that, especially like on like other like subreddits, like fucking stupid Facebook groups, and like especially subreddits. But like, holy shit, people really shit on Boromir and like go like he fucking deserved to die. I'm like, holy fuck, dude. Mm-hmm. I'm like, he's a fictional character, and I'm like, he redeemed himself though. That's the whole point.
Not only that, like he was getting corrupted by being around the ring. He was being tempted to take it.
Yeah, it was literally the whole thing. And like on top of that, it wasn't even him that endangered them to begin with. The orcs were tracking them, so like they were getting found regardless.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. I don't know why people like honestly, some of the memes are fucking funny though.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, because it was during the time Joker came out, so all the fucking he fucking deserved it memes were coming out, and they go like, oh yeah, it's when Aragorn's attacking the fucking orc that shot Boromir like 1,000,000 times. And he goes like, "Why'd you do it?" And it just changes to the Joker's face, and it goes like, "Because he fucking deserved it." And I was like, Jesus. I was like, "There's no... Anyway," but that had the saddest fucking. That had one of the saddest scenes for me. Those when Boromir dies. It was like.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I kind of like the character, honestly.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's a fucking. In the beginning, he's everything that you want humanity to be, and then he turns into the one thing that like you didn't like want him to turn into, and then he still redeems himself like at the end.
Yeah.
It's a really good. It's like an anime arc, but like that the last bit of the arc happens within like 20 minutes of the film.
Yeah, true. Are you trying to say Boromir's just your average anime high school character?
Yeah, but like before anime though.
Honestly, every scene with the ring wraiths in it is a good scene in my opinion. Nazgul are fucking spooky.
Yeah, true that.
And they made them look really fucking good, honestly. I like the way they were designed and everything.
I like the scenes with Saruman, because I like the dialogue that Christopher Lee has.
Every scene.
And also...
Like rewatching with Christopher Lee, just because, like, you know, R.I.P. Man was a legend.
So, you wanna know what was, like, never explained? I mean, I'm gonna assume it's just because they're wizards, so it's whatever. Remember when they were having, like, their fight when, like, Gandalf goes, like, "Oh, shit, you're working for Sauron. That's, like, kind of bad."
Yeah.
Remember when he's, like, levitating him all the way up to the top of the tower? It's clearly a roof. Or, like, a ceiling. How the fuck did Gandalf get through that? Because there's, like, no hole that you see on top. So, like, did Saruman just, like, have him, like, phase 3? He's like, "JK, I just want to scare the shit out of you first."
See, that's what I was always confused about. And, like, it's a fucking metal roof, too. It's not like he could just, like, burst through it and be alright. That's like, holy fuck,
well, in the book it explained it. Like, he fucking, like, took him, like, outside and, like, dragged him or, like, something. But, like, just in the movie, I just don't understand what the fuck happened. Because, like, I would still understand it, like, even if he, like, went through the roof. I mean, he's a fucking god wizard. Like, I would be like, yeah, he could handle, like, a fucking steel impact of, like, that. Like, he'd be fine. But, like, there's no, like, imprint of him, like, coming out. So I'm like, did Saruman just, like, have him, like... just fucking phase through then? You're just going, woo, you know?
I mean, the way he spins up, it looks like it in the movie. Dude, it kind of looks like he's breakdancing at one point.
Oh, yeah, when he's on the floor.
It's
just his head spinning and his legs are up.
Like, it looks painful at the same time, but, like, you just look at it and you're like, damn, he's got some pretty fresh moves, though. NGL. That scene was pretty sweet. I like the scene where, like, after he reveals he's all evil and shit, and Gandalf's all up on the roof sending the moth to, like, eagles.
What about when fucking Bilbo, like, freaks out at Frodo when they're in Rivendell? He gets that weird fucking cat face.
Meme.
Exactly.
Honestly, meme. Greatest
dude, that
meme out
has,
of the movie.
dude, that has just been memed on so many times.
It's great. Because, like, at the same time, it conveys what it's supposed to, but it's so memey. Just the face the fucker makes. Like, it's fitting. It's fitting. I'm not gonna act like it isn't, but, like, Jesus. It's like when Darth Sidious flies across the room.
Oh, speaking of which, R.I.P. Ian Holm died. That was the guy who played Bilbo.
Yep.
R.I.P. He was a really good actor too. He was also he played the fucking robot on Alien.
Bishop?
Was that the one in the original Alien, like the first one? No, he was in the first. He was the one who played the robot in the first Alien. who you thought was human. Yeah, you thought he was human, and then he ended up. What are they called? Synths in there still, or what are they called?
Synthetics, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I like how their blood in there is white. I always thought that looked like milk, but like now that I'm an adult, it looks like nut just spilling out of them. And it's
I still
gross.
think it's milk. Realistically, I'm like, do you guys just run on lactose? Like, do I just need to hook you up to a cow and then let's like steroids for you guys?
I hate those things.
Yeah, but anyway, so he was the like robot guy. He also played Frodo for BBC's audiobook adaptation for Lord of the Rings. He did the entire trilogy.
That's awesome.
He did a pretty good job as Frodo, honestly. When you read the books, it makes more sense that he play Frodo, because like by the time Frodo goes on the journey, oh yeah, this is another thing too. Oh, by the time Frodo goes on the journey to like go destroy the fucking ring, like he's like in his 50s. But like that's like young age for hobbits.
Mm-hmm.
That's not even middle age for them, because they live super long lives. What was the other thing? Because it was a comparison, kind of like that.
I don't know, but one of my favorite scenes, not my favorite, I already covered it, but one of my favorite scenes from it was like watching Isengard, kind of like when the orcs kind of like started being like birthing the Uruks
itself.
Yeah, and the Uruks are being born, and like they're just fucking quarrying the shit out of the place. I always thought that was a cool scene. It was that panning shot of all the fucking Uruks and the slave orcs and shit.
I also remember the other thing I was gonna say. So you remember how when Gandalf's getting info for the ring and stuff before he like comes back to Frodo to like go like, oh, let's burn this ring to see the inscription on it, because I know it's a magic ring and that's the only way to like fucking make him go off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you know how like that took in movie time for that probably took Gandalf like a week or two, and then he came back.
Yeah.
Even though it's still like really short afterwards, but still time wise, you would think it'd probably be about then.
Yeah.
Gandalf, because it's a long like collecting mission, because again he's not sure it's the Ring of Power. That shit took like years before they actually go on the journey.
Jesus.
Yeah, like Frodo, I think was like in his 30s, mid 30s. It took like 18 to like 20 years before Gandalf was like, oh yeah, dude, you're holding this terrifying fucking thing. Oh yeah, sorry I haven't been buying like 20 years, by the way. I've literally been doing non-stop research on but this.
Yeah, for sure. It always seemed weird to me that he just like in the book, or not the book, the movie, like it seemed like, I don't know, they convey it well enough that he was there for a week, but for like it seemed like no time passed to me. It felt like he literally ran home, read a book, and then came back. I was like, that's kind of wow. He just if he only had to run home and look at a page or two, why didn't he like
just bring it?
Yeah, like or like been able to look at him and like, I'm pretty sure that's the One Ring. I'm pretty sure that's Sauron's little fucking OP ass fucking ring. Regardless, I fucking love this movie though. It's got a lot of like really iconic moments and scenes in it. I think it holds up to the other movies pretty well, but I think the other movies just got a lot more like crazy shit that happened in them that make them like more thrilling and intense.
Return of the King is my favorite for as much shit as like it gets for like the multiple endings, but like holy shit, you kind of have to convey it that way a little bit.
Yeah, I want to watch the multiple endings because I'm pretty sure we didn't get to them because we were watching the extended version with.
No, you definitely no. It's the running joke is that the movie itself has multiple endings, because if you look at the transitions like near the end, it looks like the movie ends like after Mount Doom explodes.
Yeah.
Because remember, it looks like Frodo and Sam die on there, and then it fades to black for like fucking like 10 seconds before going off.
True.
And then
I
the
never
Eagles
really thought about it
and
like
then
that,
the Eagles pick them up, and then it transitions to Rivendell, which also makes it look like the movie's ending. And then once all the like you could see why.
I mean,
that's
to
the
be
joke
honest,
of it.
To be honest, I never really seen it like that though. Like I just seen it as like transitions of like crazy shit happening.
You'll honestly kind of look at it that way once you have that set in mind. You're like, it does look like it has multiple fucking endings.
Oh well, thanks for that, I suppose then.
Yeah. Because I mean, also the other great prime example of that is when after like all the hobbits are getting bowed to at the end, when it's panning out and Frodo's narrating, and then it goes from like the Tower of Gondor, and then it's just all like the drawn map. So then you're like, oh, maybe the movie's ending here because it sounds like he's talking about how it all concluded.
I hate it because like now I can like really see it now I'm thinking about it.
And then you think it's gonna end when Frodo goes off to the Undying Lands, and then it's like, nope, you still have a little bit of Sam at the very end, and then it's the end.
I want more Sam. Samwise Gamgee, the
Sam
best
was
character.
the unsung hero.
Best character. 10 out of 10.
Sam wouldn't have made it. Frodo wouldn't have made it without Sam, is what I meant to say. Fucking Tolkien made that very adamant.
Sam's a beefcake. I've been like trying not to sneeze this whole fucking time, and like my nose has been burning, so I've been sniffling, and I have a weirdest feeling that's the most obnoxious sounding shit.
Oh yeah, by the way, I would have given you guys like a full synopsis on the fucking movie, but like it's super long, and I feel like at this point, like if you kind of like haven't seen it, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I'd recommend watching it as soon as possible. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth the time. Alright, so we're going to be having another episode hopefully coming out around the same time as this one, just because, you know, a little bit of the delay and shit, we want to make up for it.
Yeah.
And that one's going to be on
Two Towers, who would have guessed?
Was that enough of an audio cue for you?
Yeah. Also not 9/11, by the way. It's the Two Towers,
9/11.
Lord of the Rings.
Conspiracy.
7-Eleven.
Oh, dude, I want some fucking 7-Eleven. I've never been to one, and I want to try their shitty hot dogs at the Spin. Because, like, our shitty hot dogs at Spin...
You sound like Corey when me, him, and Matt went down to California, and he was stoked as fuck for 7-Eleven, and then spent more than he would at a town pump.
Dude, yeah.
He's like, but dude, they had Sour Patch Kid slushy machine, and I was like, yeah, that's like realistically the only thing 7-Eleven's good for is their slushy, but like,
bro, I want
it's still
snacks,
overpriced.
Dude. I wish we had fucking snacks at Town Pump like they do there. They got a lot of like shit that, you know, you're not gonna get on a regular occasion, but like, hey, you never know when you stumble into a place that's open.
You never know when you stumble into a 7-Eleven.
Dude, I don't know. I'm just saying it's convenient. I get really fucking high and I get hungry, and everything I get at Town Pump's either chips or something I have to make. So like, hey, that's all I'm saying. Oh, well, I gotta do this. I gotta do this outro or something.
What?
I guess.
Well.
Sucks to be you. I'm gonna get as far away from you as possible.
Yeah, fuck you. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Ball Posters podcast. As always, I'm Foster. Fuckface who left me is Caleb, but he doesn't want to be next to me, so like that's what.
Oh, hey there, brother.
Yeah, follow our Instagram, Ballbusters OG.
Thank God you remembered it, because I didn't.
I almost fucking blanked it.
That would have been terrible blanking. Both forget our fucking plug.
Yeah. I never plug my Instagram, though, because I'm, like, never, ever doing anything on there, like, ever.
I don't have an Instagram. It got banned.
That's hilarious.
I'm not going into details.
I was gonna ask you to.
That's a good idea.
All right, guys.
About the same reason my Tumblr got banned.
All right, guys. We'll see you next episode. That's some real good boy pussy. Oh yeah.